Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Greenfield, and I'm a professor of social work at Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey. I'm also the director for the Rutgers Hub for Aging Collaboration at the School of Social Work. And I'm so sorry that I can't be with you all, case in point. But I am very pleased to still have this opportunity to share my remarks with you all as part of this incredible conference taking place in Paramus, Bergen County, on Friday, September 22nd, 2023. The title of my presentation is Harnessing the Momentum of Bergen's Age-Friendly Communities. I want to begin on a note of welcome. Welcome to the 21st century age wave. Now, I'm sure many of you are thinking about the age wave in terms of this dramatic demographic shift that we're all continuing to live through with the extension of life expectancy and the sheer volume and percentage of people surviving well into their later years. But I want to talk about now the age wave in slightly different terms, which is this historical moment that's redefining even the very notion of what aging is. And we can see this as one example through the Reframing Aging movement, this big, broad social campaign to change the way we speak about aging, to change the way we think about aging, to ultimately influence and improve the structures and policies and environments in which we age. And here's just one small example. This is from agefriendlyvibes.com of a age-positive birthday card. It says, "The streak continues, aging fiercely since birth." Another major development that's redefining the field of aging from my vantage point is the concept of aging equity, a term you didn't hear much before 2020, but with our national recognition around issues of racial justice and interrelated systems of advantage and disadvantage, we now have an imagination for differences in how people age and how that's patterned by characteristics of our society. Again, another major development that makes now a really, really exciting and energizing time to be part of this work. Well, more locally, another reason why it's so exciting to be part of the 21st century age wave is because of the pioneering efforts of our neighbors, our leaders of age-friendly community initiatives in Bergen County that have been going on now for several years in 6 communities. And you'll all have the great opportunity and joy of hearing them speak in their own voice about their work. I've had the opportunity and joy of learning about their work as a research partner, both in terms of conducting a developmental evaluation of trying to understand what are age-friendly community initiatives from the perspective of the people who are doing the work at the local level. And the fundamental question has been, how does investment of grant funding, or how do you take financial resources that are being given in the name of age-friendly community progress, as shown by the 8 domains here on the right-hand side of the slide, what's in between? How do you translate that pile of investment into actual meaningful community change? So just to give you a little bit more context about our work together, this has been part of a pioneering grant-making program in northern New Jersey, of which Bergen County has been a big part. It started in 2016 when 2 local philanthropies, that's the Grata Fund and the Henry and Marilyn Taub Foundation, came together to fund planning grants for 9 community initiatives in their respective grant-making areas, that 8 of which progressed onto implementation grants in 2017. And then in 2020 and 2021, additional communities received planning grants as part of a second cohort or a next cohort of age-friendly community initiatives in this northern New Jersey region. In 2021, we formalized kind of this larger network to connect the work of these communities and other communities not receiving grant funds, but who are involved with age-friendly community work as part of Age-Friendly North Jersey. And in 2022 to today, the philanthropies and all of us really continue to try to do our best with evolving funding mechanisms to keep this conference moving, keep this work moving forward, and to really spur along additional communities in jumping the learning curve on doing this really important and exciting work. So just to give you a sense, these are a short list of communities that were active in age-friendly North Jersey in 2023, and also shows you the region that this network currently covers according to the grant-making catchment areas of the initial funders. And you can see many familiar names from Bergen County on this list. And of course, we always hope to see it grow. Okay, so for the rest of my talk, I just want to share key insights that we've learned from the work of these leaders in these communities in the past 7 years that really, I think, can have great relevance for, again, jumping the learning curve on what this work entails and how other communities might advance their own journeys toward age-friendly community progress. And I put the URL here for a project page on the Hub's web pages that provides more information about key insights from this body of work and links to publications and other reports we put out over the years that I encourage you to peruse as you're interested. But for the purpose of today, I'm going to talk about 5 key insights. 1, age-friendly work requires diverse types of resources. 2, age-friendly work is community capacity building work. 3, progress is possible, exclamation point. 4, the work is bigger than the local level alone. And 5, communities of practice are key. And I'll go through each of these in the subsequent slides. So to begin, remember that initial model, right? That had grant funding on the left-hand side, right? We begin with the grant dollars, then what happens? Well, we have learned pretty quickly that grant dollars are very, very important and helpful in moving this work forward, but they're not the only type of resources that you need to do this work successfully. Of course, financial capital is part of it, but importantly, these other categories of resources, human capital, a huge part. A lot of this rests on the talents and skill developments of the individuals who are overseeing this work on a month-to-month, year-to-year basis. Social capital, the value that people have in their relationships with others in their communities, really embedding this work as part of the civic muscle of a community and in our relationships, the way organizations and groups trust each other, understand each other's work, want to work together, want to understand what the other groups are doing. This social capital also really makes a difference. And then programmatic resources, existing events, programs, services that are already happening within a community that can really serve as a foundation for launching the work of age-friendly progress forward. So that is the first insight. The second insight, age-friendly work is community capacity building work. Fundamentally, when it comes down to it, a lot of the aims of this work is to help a community develop its capacity to address issues of aging, healthy aging, aging in place, aging in community, aging equity, more and better over time. And so I show this kind of visual of dots connected with each other in different ways. It's really to hit this home point that community capacity exists at these different levels. So it's the capacity of individuals to act on aging, it's the capacity of organizations and groups to act on aging, and then it's the capacity of these broader networks or clusters of relationships, a whole of a community of different groups and organizations and how they relate with each other. We want to make strong dots, connections, and networks across all of these things in terms of their capacity to seize opportunities, bring in resources, use resources more effectively, plan for the future, engage more people, more groups into thinking about how we can be more intentional on supporting people of all ages as they age in our communities. That is fundamentally community capacity building. The third insight, progress is possible. I'm happy to report after 7 years of communities doing this work, we really do see super meaningful changes that they've made. And some of these changes occur more quickly. You don't have to wait 7 years to start seeing good things happen. In fact, part of that community capacity building progress is building on incremental, shorter term accomplishments and leveraging that to build to something more progressively structural over time. But here's a list of some examples or ways, themes related to accomplishments of the initiatives who've been at it for some time. I hope this list is inspiring. Enhanced programs and services within their communities for older adults, changes to the built environment, more intentional partnerships being forged on aging, greater awareness on aging in the public at large, having stronger identified champions who are bringing the voice of an aging perspective into key community conversations and decision points, an overall greater sense of community pride and belonging, and really this growing energy or engine of people who are advancing a movement for age-friendly communities with across systems levels. So that would be within their own community, across adjacent communities to their own, the county, state, national, global movement. You got it. It's all part of the progressive accomplishments. So this is progress. Insight number 4, and related to that last point, is that the work is bigger than the local level alone. I think stepping back and reflecting, it's fair to say that in many ways, this work is highly local. It's rooted in people's love and commitment and desire to make the places where they work and live and age better. And it's that kind of hometown pride that drives a lot of this work. So the action at the municipal level is very important. And of course, there's a lot of things that can be done within municipalities to make communities better for long lives. But there's also limits to what municipalities can do. And certainly municipalities exist with an embedded systems level of direction, of priorities, formal, informal, from county and state leaders and others more regionally. And so kind of the secret sauce, I think, of a healthy age-friendly communities movement is when you have greater coordination, at least alignment, awareness of efforts that are going across these different systems levels. And I'm sure our leaders can speak to examples of how that has played out in their work. Insight number 5, communities of practice are key. So I think one thing to step back when thinking about the nature of age-friendly community work, as what we've understand from the communities who've been doing it for a while, is that this work is really innovative practice, trying to make change in how people think about aging, how they allocate their resources, their time, their attention to opportunities of aging really requires leadership and kind of thinking outside the box and experimenting and trying new things. And to keep up that spirit of innovation, it is super helpful to have peers who are also at it across different communities. And so through this regional grant making program in age-friendly North Jersey that's emerged from it, we've been able to cultivate a very intentional community practice where age-friendly community leaders as peers who share passion and experience and similar things they're grappling with have very multiple ways that they can connect with each other, including this conference, welcome, and can continue to keep each other informed and energized and motivated to push forward for change. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell, the 5 insights. So you might be asking, what next? What next steps for harnessing the momentum? Well, to begin, I think it's good to pause for a second and basically appreciate yourself and the person sitting next to you on making the time to be here today. Part of making change is being intentional and creating space for something that might not have been considered so much before, or expanding something you're already doing and inspiring others within your community to look at something in a different way or partner or work on something in a better way. And so I just want to pause and acknowledge that by your all being here, you've already taken a step toward your community's age-friendly journey. I also want to encourage you to continue to strategically connect both with people inside of your community as well as outside of your community. A lot of the magic from this comes from people sharing ideas and possibilities with each other, kind of having a shared brain space around what can work and problem solving, what opportunities are coming down the pike, what to be orienting to. And so building that social capital, both at the local level as well as across Bergen County and beyond is going to be helpful, I think. The third thing is to consider ways that you can already start to build your community's capacity, especially in light of potentially upcoming grant opportunities. So one very exciting development from the state of New Jersey is, to our best understanding, the Division on Aging Services is working to develop a grant-making program. So hopefully there'll be an RFA or RFP forthcoming. We're not sure when, but a new state grant-making opportunity that will support local communities, possibly. I'm not sure who exactly the grantees will be, but expect to support local community work at some level to work toward age-friendly community progress. And so if you're able to, touch base with if you have a municipal committee on aging or civic groups on aging, the relevant decision makers, potential grant writer in your community who can be made aware of this opportunity when it comes out, make sure you sign up for Age-Friendly North Jersey's mailing list so that when this is announced, you'll be among the first to know to learn more about it. this is kind of a get ready, get set opportunity to look for these specialized grant opportunities in the future that can really accelerate your community's age-friendly journey. And then finally, I would recommend just start by doing something. I mean, it's good to plan and talk and think, of course, but we've learned from the practice of the age-friendly leaders in our region so far that oftentimes it's not until they actually try something that they realize with better nuance what's gonna work, who's showing signs of light, who wants to come on board, who you know, might not be the best time for them to start a conversation or engage in these kind of conversations. Somebody you need to kind of wait on for strategic relationship building. Really, it could be as simple as having a conversation with an elected official in your community about the conference you're attending today and how excited you are, and just making them aware of that. That would be a concrete something that wouldn't take too much time, pretty low risk, but would be good, and kind of see what their reaction is, and start kind of feeling the temperature of readiness of different sectors and organizations and groups and key leaders in their interest and appetite for monitoring opportunities to do this work. So I'll just say again, thank you. Thank you to the funders who have been spurring this work, and the leaders of Age-Friendly North Jersey who have been our partners for years and learning together. The members of the Rutgers Age-Friendly Research Team, whose contributions are invaluable and central to this intellectual work and practice. And then finally, a QR code here is the URL to, if you would like to join the Hub's mailing list. We have a forthcoming report as part of our ongoing research around the accomplishments and operational statuses of these initiatives 7 years into their grant making program, and all sorts of other updates and exciting news on changing social context for aging. So we really would love to keep in touch. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.